guys, so today's video is going to be a back to school video. Now I know that for a lot of people, organizing is hard. And I've come up with some ways that maybe you can organize yourself and your backpack and your school supplies for this upcoming school year. And I'm sorry if you started already, but you can still use these tips. And yeah, if I look down, I have a little list right here. So yeah, okay. I also have a bunch of other stuff around me. My room is a mess because I got some school supplies and I'm using some of my old ones, so I didn't have to go and buy new ones. I have them all over my floor right now, so I could use them for this video. So you have some options: a binder or folder for each class, one big binder that you kind of have all your stuff in, or you can share binders with another class. So I mean, obviously there's other ways you can do it, but this is the ways that I found easiest for me. Here's 3 different examples. Here is my English binder that I used last year. I haven't exactly cleaned it out since last year, so it's really full, but I have a bunch of stuff on it. These binders I've been using for, I think this is the 4th year I'm about to use them. They're so durable. There's no problems with them. I'm about to use them again. And they're great. I got them from Staples, so if you want to get these, get the bendy kinds. They're really good. They just go along with things, and they're kind of easy to put in your bag because they can be like flat. Like this one, this doesn't have much stuff in it, so I can kind of like squish it in my bag. One example is, not this year, but the year before, so I don't have it. I used to take one big binder and section it off so it had different classes for each one. So I would do one big binder and keep all my stuff in there. But then to kind of have like minor binders or folders, so I could just put stuff in. So you could do that, or what I'm doing this year is having a folder for each class, because I find folders really easy, especially if you don't need to like take notes or section it off. Anyway, I just find it really easy to keep a small folder to like put everything in. So what I'm doing is keeping a folder for each class, and I'm going to split it up for the smaller classes. For chemistry, because I'm taking chemistry this year, I am using one binder. I find it easy for my biggest classes that I'm going to use and get a lot of stuff to use one binder and section it off. So I don't want you guys to see my name. I don't know if you can. Don't zoom in on it. So sections, and I just have a bunch of paper like the other one. I haven't touched this since the end of school. And so this one just has all of my chemistry stuff in it and my notes and everything, and I don't use any other stuff for my chemistry. I mean, I took biology last year, but yeah. So then I also have this one. It's kind of like my random / math / French folder, if that makes sense. I have a whole side dedicated to math right here and a whole side dedicated to French. So you could do that and split it up so it's easier and you only have to bring in one instead of bringing 7 different folders or binders. What you could also do is do that thing, but what I'm doing is a bunch of different folders and 2 binders, and I'm taking a 5-subject college ruled notebook. Last year what I did mostly was kept one notebook and just used it for every class, but I went through literally 4 of those. So this is one of mine from last year. This one's not even used that much because it would be beat up, dead. That's all of my classes plus random lists that I make during the day. So this one has sections, which I think is really helpful, and it has this section would be chemistry, this section would be English, and then it has a cute folder in between. That'll be really helpful, I know, for me. And it has a little thing. So I know that this will be helpful for me. May not be for some people. They might not like this, but I really like the 5-subject notebook. It's a little big. That's the only thing. It's a little big. I might not want to put that in my backpack, but I think I'll definitely like this more instead of going through 5 of these throughout the year. And it's just more helpful for me. Another thing that I think is important is sections, sectioning off things. In this binder, for example, I have one section for all the handouts that I've gotten, and then I have a little divider right here, and then I have all of my notes. Well, you can get dividers from like Staples or Walmart. I really like to section things off so it's like more organized for me, but you can do it however you want because it's your binder and you'll probably get used to it however you want it. I just, like, you don't want to be messy. Also, one thing about that is that some teachers require you to have a notebook or a binder specifically for your class. So I know my biology teacher asked us to bring in a 3-ring binder that was like 1 inch. This is 1 inch. So he required us to have one of these, but he required us to have sections and tabs. He required us to have tabs, but I don't, like, I started out using his system because we had a lot of different like topics throughout the year. So every time we'd have a new topic, he'd ask me to add a new tab, but like he wouldn't tell you to have like 20 tabs. It's just like weird, okay? So I started doing that and then I kind of came up with my own way. So I guess you can do that if you want. But also, if you're an organized person and you have your own system and don't want to kind of follow the teachers, I think you should go talk to the teacher and say, well, I have my own system. I can show you what mine is so you don't get nervous that I'm not organized. Because the teachers are doing that just for you to get organized. They want you to be organized about their class, do their work. They're just trying to make the process easier for you. So if you have your own system that you like, then I suggest going to talk to that teacher and showing them your system, because some teachers actually check. Like my teacher was like, well, you have to have it by this day because I'm going to check. So if they're checking that, you should just go up to them and tell them that you have your own system. They'll probably respect that. They will think you're an organized person and that will be better for you. They'll like you more. Another thing is, a tip for staying organized is writing things down. Now, I don't know what you guys use for writing down your homework and stuff, or if you just don't write them all at all, or you just like memorize them, but I just don't find that easy for me. So my school, they give us these little assignment notebooks. I find those really important and useful to just write things down, write down my homework, write down things I need to remember for the next day or something I need to bring into school, you know. Also, you could use, there's 2 apps that I can recommend. One app that you can just write down on your phone if you're allowed to in class. So there's this app, it's called My Homework. And you can write it down on your phone and you have to make a little account, but it's free, pretty sure. And it can also connect to a computer. So if you are on your computer later on, you don't want to check your phone for what you wrote down your homework, you go to myhomeworkapp.com and sign in with your username and password, and you can see a list of all the homework that you wrote down on your phone in the middle of class. I think that's really helpful. I'm not currently using that system this year, but it was really helpful for me when I did. Now, another app you can use is only for your computer, so you need to buy it at the App Store on a Mac. Sorry, this is only like a Mac app. So it's called iHomework, and it's just a helpful app that you can write down your homework on. I guess you could just use like lists, but I like that app, and you could also use calendar, I guess. I don't know. I just like using the iHomework app. That one actually does cost money, so you might not want to use it, but I think it was worth it, and I really like that app. But I think this year I'm going to go back to writing it down because it's kind of hard to maybe like open your laptop in the middle of class, but some teachers let you, and sometimes you just have your laptop open or something. For my schedule, we have a different number of classes each day. So one day we might drop 1 class, or one day we might drop 2 classes. For the day that you drop a class, a suggestion is to take out the binders you don't need. Some people like didn't realize that you could do this. Like, I don't know why. It's just kind of an obvious thing to me, but some people just don't realize that when you don't have that like class that day, you don't need the binder unless you're doing work, which you could probably just throw it in some folder. Like I would do, I have like a spare folder with me for like random stuff. So I might just have like a folder that I want to bring if I want to do work during school. But other than that, if you don't have a class that day, then you could switch out your binders. Like that's what I do. I take out 2 of my binders. One day my backpack will be so much less heavy. That's also because in my school, we don't really use our lockers. We use mostly our backpacks. But like I said, we don't go to our lockers during the day, so my backpack is like my baby. It has everything I need, and I just keep it in there. This is my backpack. Same one I used last year. It's North Face Borealis. I really like it. It's helpful. It has a lot of compartments and I have a lot of stuff. Another tip I have is once you get a piece of paper, I suggest putting it in the place it's supposed to be where you will know where it is immediately when you get it or when you're asked to put it away. Because if you don't do that, you're gonna end up stuffing it in your backpack. I hate like stuffing it in my backpack. I think I've done that maybe twice this year because I was in such a rush, but I try to keep everything organized. So right when I get it, I put it in my notebook, or before I'm leaving for class, I put everything back in my binder or folder so I don't have everything disorganized. Another thing that might keep you organized, not with like binders and everything, is to keep a calendar. Then you'll know when things are coming up and when you have to turn in stuff, when you have to bring something in, when your projects are due, when you need to start your projects, and stuff like that. I think it's really helpful to keep a calendar and know what you have to do too, like after school, if you're gonna have time to do enough stuff so you can get something done maybe the day before. Make a place for everything. So I have everything in my backpack really organized. So if you're like my school, but I'm pretty sure everyone else in the world like uses their lockers, not like my school, make a place for everything. I mean, you could use this for your lockers too, but I have literally a set place for everything. In this zipper, I keep my pencils. In this little pocket up here, I have a lotion and some gum and this mini schedule that they give us. And I just kind of have random stuff, but I know where all that is. I just like having it organized so you don't have random stuff floating around your backpack, but that's really helpful. And that's also you can use for your locker too, like get a little locker shelf. I used to do that in middle school, but we don't need that now. Another thing that would help is having a pencil case. I kind of have that built-in zipper, so I use that as my pencil case. It's just easy for me to open up, so I don't have to have a separate pouch. But getting a pencil case is really helpful, so you also don't have random pencils and pens floating around your bag. Something that everyone will like come to is that when your teachers kind of require you to bring a textbook to class. Now, I only had one teacher that required me to bring my textbook every single day, and it was pretty annoying because it was like, you don't want to have that extra weight in your bag when you already have a ton of other binders, but they're just gonna be like, you need your textbook for class. I think there's a quick solution to that, and it is finding a friend that will switch off days to bring a textbook with you. I did that with one of my friends, so we sat next to each other every day, and one day, like on Monday, I would bring my textbook, Tuesday she would bring hers, Wednesday I would bring mine, and Thursday she would bring hers. And we kind of planned it so that it would work with our schedules on the days that we didn't have that much weight. So if I had like a lot of stuff in my bag on Tuesday, then she would take the textbook and bring it into class. If I had no stuff in my bag on Wednesday, then I would bring my textbook. And it would just work out a lot better than bringing your textbook every single day. Some people might not like have that problem with that, but I always found it really annoying. But the thing about that is like trusting the other person to bring the textbook every single day. I know I have definitely forgotten to bring it in some days. My last tip is to take out your old papers. So I'm not really the best one to talk about that, but this is my old like notebook. Obviously not like that because summer, I just like haven't touched it since summer started. A good idea is, so you don't have like tons of weight in your bag, is to, after a while when you're done with maybe a unit or something, take out the old papers, and either you can throw them away if you don't need them, or file them in a separate like folder so you can like keep it safe if you need to refer back to it for a final or midterm. But just take them out. You don't need that extra weight. So if you take them out, it'll be much easier. You'll have it clear again. You could start with a fresh new topic. So I hope this video was really helpful for you guys. It was fun for me to make, and a bunch of new back to school videos will be coming up. So I hope you guys stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Bye.